So if you're looking into buying a home, once you're under contract, the first step is to make it through the home inspection. So today's video, I'm going to tell you what to look for and how to navigate it all. And it starts right now. Welcome back to another episode of Real Estate in the 757. My name is Jennifer Stimson. I'm a local realtor here in Hampton Roads, and if it's your first time to our channel, welcome. We truly are so glad to have you. If you've been kind of around for a little while, you may have noticed that I have been missing in action over the summer, and I do apologize, but like you, life has been busy, trying to enjoy the summer with my family, had a few vacations mixed in to see family that we haven't seen in over a year, almost two, due to the COVID. And then I also had surgery and had a week of recovery following that. So you add in helping buyers and sellers and trying to have a little bit of life and recovering from surgery, and poof, the summer is gone. But we're so glad to have you today. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, we sure do hope that you will click subscribe and that you'll also hit that like button and give us some love. All right, so my first tip is to simply try not to get overwhelmed, okay? You need to know up front that these reports can be long. They can have 10 pages. If it's a newer home and there's just not as much to call out, great. You probably have a 5 to 10 page report. If it's an older home, and in our area, there are plenty of homes that can be 100 plus years old. Okay, those reports are probably gonna be 30 to 50 pages long. So don't get overwhelmed, anticipate that. But here's the kicker. You want your home inspector to be calling out everything. You want them to be giving you all the details for all of the areas of your home. And typically the report should be broken into, groups, exterior, interior, electrical, heating and cooling. They'll have all these different areas and their findings, within, and that does help to kind of break it down so you can digest it, but just try not to get overwhelmed. You really do want a solid home inspector who will call out everything, the good, the bad, the indifferent, so that you have all of the information there so you can kind of start working your way through it. All right, so tip number 2 is that it really is good to have the bigger picture. So now you've got this report and you will have the age of all of the systems. They'll have an opinion about the roof. They will tell you how old your HVAC is. They will tell you how old the furnace is, the AC units, all of that. The water heater, how old is that system? And they'll let you know whether it's nearing the end of its shelf life or maybe it's got a few more years, but you need to take that and you need to plan ahead and ask yourself, okay, if I'm gonna need a new roof in 4 to 6 years, what do I need to actually be doing to prepare for that and plan ahead for that? If you think there's absolutely no way that you're gonna be able to come up with, 10, 12 grand potentially to replace the roof in a few years, if that's what it would need, then this is not the home for you. And then you walk away. You're not gonna be able to ask the seller to replace your roof. It's just not going to happen more than likely. So, get the bigger picture, think through all those major systems and when you might need to be planning down the road to replace them. And, make sure you're on board with that in order to move forward. Tip number 3, it's all about the negotiation. So now that you have your report, if you're in a typical market where you get to go back to the sellers and ask for them to repair, fix, or maybe even replace something that's broken, then this is the time where you write up a form, you determine these items with your realtor, and you submit it to the other side, for them to look over, and then they will decide what things they're willing to do as part of your contract. So my encouragement to my buyers is always to not nickel and dime, and you cannot ask for everything. So you really need to plan on some things you will be fixing and dealing with in the future. Some things are cosmetic, some things are just to kind of know you could kind of deal with on your own, and some are a little more pressing that maybe you want to ask to be done. But it's definitely a negotiation time. Whatever you ask them to do, they do not have to agree to do everything. So there might be some back and forth, crossing through and initialing and signing. So pick and choose wisely is my best advice. It's all about negotiation. Hopefully your realtor will guide you on what things they kind of feel are most pressing for you to hit, but you definitely want to be wise and just, get what you can get, and then be willing to give a little bit as well, and plan on dealing with some of those items yourself after you've closed and the home is officially yours. All right, so there you have it, my 3 tips on dealing with a home inspection and how to navigate it. Look, there's going to be give and take on both sides, and so just be wise as you go through it. Most of the home inspection is just knowledge-based for you to have and know how best to plan and move forward. And definitely if there was some huge thing, structural or whatever, to pop up, it is your contingency to be able to walk away. You would lose the fee that you paid the home inspector to come and find this out for you, but it's still your contingency to be able to remove your offer and walk if something were to pop up that just totally scared you. And I've had that happen once so far. But take all the information, know what's coming up with it, what things you need to deal with, and just be wise on what you go to the sellers to fix. You really have to work on both sides to make both sides truly happy. Until next time, my friends, reach out, let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget to hit subscribe. We'd love to have you coming back each and every week.